Very good.
They put it in mind.
But we need combinations, punches and bunches. Lead with speed, follow with power. Lead with speed, follow with power.
You'll see the left hook to work here. That's the money punch for Tommy Morrison. A punch that could put him into the very big money. There you see George chasing a pirouetting Morrison. He's like a linebacker going after a ballet dancer.
Seems like to me George's jab is so strong it made him turn around.
Punch stat numbers through round number 5. You can see how much busier Morrison has been, how much more accurate Foreman has been. Interesting fight to try to score. Foreman landing at a 63% rate. That's not tremendously surprising because George is an accurate puncher and Tommy doesn't defend himself all that well. Round 6, Morrison with his mouth open, snorting through the nose, maybe beginning to lose his wind just a little bit. Foreman relaxed as always. Now Mills Lane is going to talk to George Foreman about the low blow. First warning, Morrison jumps in with a left hook. And Foreman goes right back to the body. We pointed out to you earlier, swelling under the right eye of Foreman and under the left eye of Morrison. Neither has turned into a dangerous situation for either fighter yet.
Tommy's used a lot of lateral movement. I'm very impressed with that.
Got partial contact with the left hook. Well, he was determined to go side to side to make it tough for George, Riddick, and he's managed to do that so far.
Yes, indeed. But I think George in the later rounds should catch up with Tommy.
Why are you saying that?
Well, I think that's in George's game plan. He wants Tommy to get winded, and then he's going to apply the pressure. George isn't throwing a lot of punches. I say at this point he's preserving himself.
George looks extremely relaxed. Is that what gives you the confidence that he will still be at his best in the late rounds?
I would like to think so.
Left hook lands for Morrison. Of course, the danger for Foreman is that by allowing Tommy to be busier, he runs the risk of falling behind on points. Few people thought that this fight could go to a decision. Again, they trade punches. And again, it is Morrison who beats Foreman to the punch until George goes back to the jab and lands 3 of them in a row. Morrison goes back to foot movement to try to stay away from the jab. As soon as he stands still like that, he must punch or else fall victim to the Foreman jab.
George gave Tommy a feint, and see how he reacted, but George waited too long to fire off for it.
One thing George likes to do, Riddick, is to reach out and simply push Tommy on the shoulders to try to knock him off balance. Now Foreman lands 2 right hands, and Morrison is a little bit more open than before.
Yeah, Tommy needs to close his mouth because he'll get hit and break and get his jaw broken again.
Sweeping left hook landed for Morrison. Short right hand inside by Foreman. Morrison comes back with a left.
George is being to his left. Better than halfway through. Better than halfway through. You're catching your second wind now. Right now, we're going to catch our second wind. Relax. Catch your second wind. All right?
That's what it's doing. What it's doing.
Just with right hand. Close your mouth. Beat him with a right hand hook behind it. 2, 3 punches. Stop him from coming back with another. The jab is everything, son. Everything. Oh, little boy. Set him up with it.
There's George throwing a left and a right. Morrison survives it and moves on. A good sign for Morrison even as he catches the punch.
As he has throughout the comeback that began in 1987, George Foreman stands in the corner between rounds. More than halfway through now as round 7 begins.
Watch the heads in there, guys.
Veteran observers of Tommy Morrison wait at this point for him to lose steam and fall off the precipice. That's been the frequent problem. Morrison landing a right and a left, and the right uppercut, and Foreman momentarily off balance. Another right hand. Now Foreman lands a left and a right. They are matching power for power. Morrison may have been stunned just a little bit by a Foreman right hand. Tommy goes back to the jab. But the foot movement begins to disappear. Now Morrison remembers to try to walk away from the jab. Remember that when he stands still, he is an all too available target for George Foreman's heavy punches. Riddick, what do you think?
I think Tommy has proven to take a punch better than a lot of people anticipated. And George takes a better left hook than a lot of people anticipated.
And if they go the distance?
At this point, I think Tommy's ahead.
I think you're probably right. He's been the more active fighter. But of course, judges may have a soft spot for Foreman after 25 years of scoring his fights. They trade left hooks 1-for-1, and Foreman comes back with a second one of his own. Morrison back to the jab and the foot movement. Riddick?
I think at this point, George is the fresh of the two, believe it or not.
He seemed to get himself into amazing shape. We all looked at the weigh-in the other day and said, wow, that's not the way we would have thought George might look. Foreman relentlessly stalking. Closing seconds of round 7. It has been a very busy round for both fighters. Morrison lands an uppercut on the point of Foreman's chin. George continues to come forward. Throws the jab. Left hook to the body by Morrison. Left to the jaw by Foreman. Tommy's got to be wondering, when do I begin to back him up with all this heavy punching?
George doesn't know how to back up.